I'm going to run DeepSeek R1 on this rinky-dink PC, and what it is a Dell. And you can see it's an XPS8920. It's running Windows 64, and it has a i7-7700 CPU, 3.6 gig, whatever. It's not capable of running Windows 11, so we're talking about an old one. Down here you see I only have 32 gigabytes of RAM, but it's not a very good one. So we're going to run it. Now I already got Llama installed. I have already downloaded 2 of DeepSeek's R. I have the latest, which is a 4.7 gigabyte. Downloaded it 3 minutes ago, and then 4 days ago I downloaded the 14B, which is bigger. It's a 9 gigabyte file. But we're going to run the latest one. So if I go here and I type in, get my cursor, Llama run DeepSeek R1 latest. Full manifest file does not exist. What did I spell wrong? I didn't put the K. Okay. F3. Come back over here. Insert K. No. And again, insert a hyphen. There we go. Hi. And so now it's running. So I can ask it a question like, let's see, explain Ohm's law. Okay, it's thinking, and now it's off and running. And you can see how fast this joker runs on this PC. Now it is using I think I got 32 gigs of graphics and 32 gigs of RAM. It's using both. So there's the answer, and it's still thinking. Sorry for the glare from my overhead light. Let me turn that off. No, it's not the glare from my overhead light. It's the glare from my phone. There we go. Okay, so you see it's running pretty fast. Now this is the latest pull of DeepSeek R1. And there you go. So while it's pulling, let's look at what it said. Ohm's law is a fundamental principle in physics and describes the relationship between current, voltage, and resistance in an electrical circuit. It states that the current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the voltage applied across it, providing all other factors such as temperature remain constant. Very good, very good, very good definition. Then it has key points and the application and the summary. So there you have it, DeepSeek running on this old boat anchor. Thanks for watching. Okay, before we continue, let me explain what's going on here. This is DeepSeek R1 running on my local PC. This is not the same as DeepSeek on the internet, where you have to go to the website. And I'm going to show you the difference in just a second. But first, here's what my PC, well, let me see if I can find the system info. Here it is. This is what my PC has, and we looked at that, right? It's, it's a Dell 8920. Okay. This is what it's looking like right now in my task manager. And I'm going to put this over on the side. But you can see it's all quiet. Nothing's happening, right? A little bit of GPU going on. This is GPU. So this is my graphics card, which is right there. NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1650 Super, according to Google, and right here, Google says that it is a mid-range graphic card, blah, blah, blah. It has 4 gigs of video memory. All right. So, and if I refresh this page, you'll see the blue will go away. So I refresh the page up here, and we're online. So it goes back and it says the same thing. Now, if I close my internet, which you see is running right there. So if I open that up and disconnect, now I'm disconnected from the internet. Now if I refresh this page, you see it can't load. If I go to another page and try to go to Google, let's just type in Google. The site can't be reached. Okay, so we're offline, and that's what it says down there. See the globe? We're offline. Okay, so we know we're offline. We know that this is my memory card, graphics card, and it's not that great. I'm going to pull this, I'm going to put this up here, but I'm going to hide the legend, so I don't even need to. I'll just move this over a little bit. Okay, here I have some generic questions. I have 2 versions on my PC. And we seen that a minute ago. This was the first question I asked. So now I'm going to ask you the second question. How many colors are in a rainbow? And let's see what it says. Control V. Oh, doesn't like that, huh? Edit. Paste. There we go. All right. So it's thinking. So it says that he needs to figure out how many colors are in a rainbow. Let me think about this. Now see, this is DeepSeek. This is what it does. It thinks. It actually evaluates the question before it answers. So it says, first, when I look at a rainbow, it's all those colorful arcs after a rain shower, but counting the exact number of colors can be tricky because sometimes people argue whether certain colors blend together or if there's even more than what we commonly see. Okay, so it goes on and talking about the possibility of a whole lot of colors. Now, when I asked Google in Google search, using just a basic AI, how many colors in rainbow, it said there's 8. But you see the difference. And look at how much information it gives you. Actually tells you the frequency of each rainbow color for the basic colors. But it goes into the detail that there are more colors. There's actually a blending. Look how much information it's typing. Look at that. Just to answer that question. Okay, we'll let it go. It's even talking about in ancient Greek mythology, the rainbow was said to have 7 bends. And we're offline. This is running. You can hear it. This is running on my PC. I'm not online. I can use this and ask it any question under the sun. In fact, I'm going to ask it one about the sun in a minute, and it'll keep right on going. Now, how to pause it, I don't know. I haven't figured that out. I know Control-C returns control back to the llama, but it's almost finished, so let's let it finish. Okay, it's done. So that was how much colors, or how many colors are in a rainbow. Look at that amount of information this thing wrote. It thought this up from a very relatively small file. The file that's running on my PC is the latest, which I think is 17B. It's not very big. This will run on almost anyone's PC, probably run on a laptop. If we look at the chart here, GPU, this is what it used here. calculating that. It didn't even use all of my GPU. CPU, you can see it's going away, but that's what it used right there. And the disk activity is minimal. I mean, this thing was thinking and answering without accessing the hard drive. Isn't that amazing? I mean, it accessed it a little bit. Let's try the next question. And you see one of them is really messed up. That's intentional. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to come over here and we're going to paste it in. There's the question. What is the closest star? Now, obviously, the sun is the closest star. So it says, so I need to figure out what the closest star is and how far away from the Earth. I know that the stars look really close together from our perspective here on Earth, but they're actually millions or even billions of light years away. But first, let me think about the sun. The sun is our nearest star to Earth, right? It's the center of our solar system and provides a light. Okay, so yeah, that is the closest star. And it's 93 million miles away, or 300 million meters, something like that, I forget. But it's 93 million miles away. But it's actually thinking about saying how fast light can travel to the Earth. Okay, but it's not going to be exactly sure that that's the one that I'm talking about. So look at where it goes with this. It talks about how far speed will go or light travels. Over 1 light year, it's 5.88 trillion miles that it travels in a year. So now it's calculating how long it takes the light to travel 93 million miles to get from the sun to the Earth. But now he's thinking about other stars in the solar system. I think some of the nearest stars are actually several light years away. For example, Proxima Centauri. That's the closest star outside of our solar system. It's 4.25 light years away. Do you see how much thinking this thing is doing? And this is doing it on my PC. Here's the GPU usage, not even half. My CPU running at half. Again, this is a cheapy PC. My RAM is halfway. Look at the disk activity. My disk 1, which would be my C drive. Nothing. My other disk, of course, not working. I don't have Ethernet. And graphics card, there it is, not even half. And yet it's still going on. You could run this on any PC. I mean, this PC is not even able to run Windows 11. It doesn't qualify. It's about 8 years old. It's a piece of junk. Okay, now what if we ask it a ridiculous question? Like we can't spell and we don't know what we're doing. Well, we'll copy that one. We'll come in here, edit, paste. There it is. Hit enter, and now it's thinking. Trying to figure out where the woodchucks actually chuck wood. First off, I don't immediately recognize woodchucks as a real animal or object. Maybe it's a typo or fictional character of some kind. If we break down the word woodchucks, it would sound like wood and chucks. It would refer to a person or an entity with the ability to make decisions. Then woodchuck might be someone or something that makes decisions about chucking wood, but I'm not sure. I recall that in some contexts, chuck can mean to throw or toss something, like chucking dirt or furniture. Or maybe woodchuck refers to individual. Okay, it's going on. But basically, sooner or later, it's going to ask itself, I would assume, did I mean woodchucks? W-O-O-D. Right now, it still doesn't understand what to do with that word. Okay. Apparently, it didn't make the actual connection on that one. Now, I'm going to paste it again, and this time I'm going to misspell it a little bit easier once it's done. And again, this is DeepSeek. So it's a Chinese-made AI, and maybe they don't have woodchucks in China. So, okay, so let's paste it in there again. We'll paste it in there again, but this time I'm going to change woodchucks to WODO, like I typed it in dyslexia, and let's see what it does. It's thinking. It's really thinking. It's having a hard time. And that may be because it may not know what a woodchuck is. So it doesn't recognize that as an animal or an object. Maybe it's a typo. Let's see if we can figure it out. So apparently it's because it doesn't know what a woodchuck is. And it's probably not been trained on that term because it's an American term. Actually, I believe it's a groundhog. So woodchuck would be a sort of a slang. See, it's really confused. It doesn't know if it's a game, a movie, a typo. But look how much thinking this is doing, trying to understand what that is. Now, the question is, can I train it to know that I meant woodchuck and see if that's what I'm going to type, and see if it'll answer the question once it's done trying to decide. But this is what they mean by deep learning. This is something that a lot of American AI language models do not do. They can't do this kind of deep evaluation and deep learning, which makes this AI spectacular and a game changer. It's just amazing, the depth. Okay, now let's see if it remembers the question and understands my response. By WODOCHUCK. I'm going to use bad language too. I made a typo. I better be a little bit more specific. Typo. I meant woodchuck. Let's see if it figures out what a woodchuck, if it even knows what a woodchuck is. It's really thinking. Now, bear in mind, this is the smallest, right? This is the smallest version of this language model. Now they want to discuss whether woodchucks really chuck wood. You see how it does know what woodchucks is, but it wasn't able to fix the spelling error on both spellings. However, it's amazing. Can they carry wood? Carry logs? Apparently hasn't seen the Geico commercial. But you see now it knows what a woodchuck is, and it knows that they're small animals found in North America. So it was a problem with understanding the spelling error only because of the geography of the place that the animal was from. I have asked many questions with spelling errors. My spelling stinks, and usually they're just normal spelling errors, and it will solve it. Okay, but this time it's actually figured it out, and it knows what I'm talking about. It even knows that they're from North United States, parts of Canada, and Mexico. Um, they belong to the family Mydidex. I didn't know that. The habitat, I want to see if it talks about what they eat. Isn't that amazing? Do woodchucks chuck wood? The chuck generally refers to throwing or propelling something into the air. However, in this context, it's unclear what you mean by wood. If you're asking whether woodchucks themselves chuck wood as part of their behavior, the answer is no, woodchucks do not chuck wood. Their primary activity involves munching on plants. If we stretch the metaphor, perhaps someone might jokingly say that woodchucks chuck wood as part of a playful or creative context, like cartoons or comics or storytelling, but this is not based on real behavior. Isn't that amazing? This thing is amazing. Now, could you, off the fly and this fast, write an evaluation on that question? And this is amazing. Okay, so we've asked it all three of my questions on this old rinky-dink, outdated PC that will not even run Windows 11. So now I'm going to exit. Control C. I think will give me the option to type buy. Okay, now we're out. So instead of the latest, which is, I believe is 7 billion, forget what that stands for. I'm not really into AI yet. I'm still learning. But let's do the big one. It's twice as big as this. Edit, paste. Okay, so now it's going to run that one. Look, it's already ready for an answer. Now I'm going to ask it the same bad question. Now remember, this one is twice as big as the one we were just doing. So edit and paste. And there it is. No, it ain't there. Let's try it again. Apparently I didn't Control C that. Control C. Wish you could do Control V, but you can't on command prompt. Paste. Why is it not pasting? Let me type it. My PC is still loading. It's actually loading this file, which is humongous. So here you do see hide disk activity because it's loading it from the disk into memory. It's going to take a second or two, so I'll pause the video until it gets loaded. Okay, it's done loading. It just finished. So it actually did paste it. It pasted it twice. So I'm going to back out this one. Okay, now we're loaded with this big, giant LLM. It's not big as far as massive servers are concerned, but as far as my PC is concerned, this thing is huge. It's not just twice bigger, it's a factor bigger. It actually does twice the processing. It's a little, it's different. It's a whole lot bigger than the other one. So let's see what it does. Now, of course, it's going to use some resources. It's not using much there. There is some data transfer, but minimal. Actually, it's not bad. CPU is running higher. Remember, in the other one, it was less than half. Now it's over half. But look at this. It's actually thinking again about this difficult question. Let's see if it figures it out. Now, the other one couldn't without, me misspelling it again and then telling it that I misspelled it. Let's see if this model, which is, again, this is DeepSeek R1, but this is a much bigger copy of the model. So look it figured it out, often used in phrases like woodchuck. Do you see that? So a bigger model is got more information. However, you've seen the amount of information the smallest model has, which is amazing. So this one is actually made a logic jump that the other one could not make. This one is definitely got the right idea. And it's asking now, can it really throw wood? So remember the other one, when I finally explained that I meant this, was able to calculate this or think this up. I hate to say calculate because it is calculating, but in reality, it's almost like it's actually thinking. Hence, DeepSeek, the name. It actually is deep in thought about the question. And it's telling me pretty much the same thing that woodchucks do, but with different words and whole different contexts. Whether it's fictional or what I'm talking about, fictional or anthropomorphic context of woodchucks. I mean, it's really evaluating what does this person mean? What is he asking? Is he leading a playful but misleading question? Talking about the noun-verb relationship. Is that what the confusion is about? And this, again, I am totally offline. This is doing this on my PC. So if the internet went out, I still have this. I can still talk with this. Now, I'd probably use a small one more so than this large one because this one takes up so much resources, and you can see it's typing slower. And if I misspell the word like that it couldn't figure out on the small one, I would definitely fix the question and redo it and not let it go as long as I'm letting this go. But I wanted you to see the process. This is amazing. Do you see why this is so troubling to United States AI developers? This is totally free. This is free. I didn't pay a penny for this. I downloaded it. It's like the ultimate software, free of charge. The AI in the United States costs money. You have to pay a subscription fee all of the time. Do you see why this is such a threat? On top of that, on top of the subscription fee that you would have to pay, there would probably be other licensing fees and restrictions, and it would probably have to work with the cloud to maintain those subscription fees. So you would have to have internet access. I mean, there's so much involved. And it took me literally, I don't know, a couple a minute or two to get this software to download to download DeepSeek and run it. There's no time in it. The time was just setting up the software, which the Olama, which by the way is runs on Linux, and that's what this is. This is actually Linux running in the background. But yeah, so it got all the information and it gave me everything I needed to know about woodchucks. And even did that from that question of WOULDCHUCKS. It figured it out. Now, so if I say bye here, it's thinking about typing. Probably because I've been scrolling. Oh, yeah, I must have gone off there. Yeah. Again. There we go. Okay. Now, Olama list. And there's the two. This one is 9 gigabytes. This one's 4.7 gigabytes. So in size, this one is roughly twice as big in actual disk space size. But in computation ability, it's a whole lot bigger than this. Okay? So that's what I mean when I say it's not just twice as big. It's twice as big in size. But what they can do with that extra memory, what DeepSeek can do with that extra memory is a major factor higher. You think about everything you could do with the small one, and now you get twice as much memory. You see the difference? If the small one would build a rocket ship to go to the moon, the larger one would build a rocket ship and handle all of the instrumentation to go to Mars. Much farther distant than just the moon. That's the distinction that I was trying to make. The size of the file determines it. Now, they have some of these that are up in the terabyte range, in which case you got to have a power supply, a power, like the electric company to run the dang thing. And then you got to have water to cool the microprocessors while they're running, because talking much more than this and maxed out. So it takes a lot. But this is now on my PC. And the short one is so easy to run. And I can do whatever I want with it. I can ask it whatever questions I want. It's like not just having the entire set of the Britannica Encyclopedia. It's beyond that. I mean, it's an actual reasoning machine. It actually reasons and thinks and comes out with an answer that is so much further than just turning to page 2347 in volume D and reading the context to answer a question. This thing is just mind-boggling. It's otherworld. It's almost alien. So this is what we have now. And you can see why the American capitalist corporations that are working on AI do not want us to have this. This is just beyond anything that they give away in the United States. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you found this interesting.